guys, and welcome back to the Fermented World channel. Today we're over the sunny side of the kitchen, which means we are brewing beer. Mead over there, beer over here, standard. Right, so let me let you know what I am actually doing. So it's actually got my son's timetables on the back, but it was the piece of paper that I could find at the time. So I used to brew a beer out of the liquid malt extract kits, the syrups or whatever you want to call it, called Knackers Yard. I did 3 versions of it, and this was dedicated to a late friend of mine. He passed away 3 years ago today. He was an old boy. He had some heart problems. He just died really suddenly. And the last time I spoke to him, he said to me, "Look at me, Gaz. I feel all shitty and I'm fucked, mate." Excuse the language, but that was his actual words. And I says, "Don't worry about it, mate. It's bin day tomorrow. Stick yourself on the curb and they'll pick you up, take you off to the Knackers Yard." And I never spoke to him again because he passed away shortly after that, either in the evening after that or the morning after that, I can't remember. But anyway, this beer is in memory of him. Now, I've taken the recipe that it was from the kit, or what I did added to the kit, and I'm going to try and recreate it using kind of what I've learned over the last couple of, months doing all grain brew. So I've taken this Knackers Yard, what I did, and I've put together a all grain kit of my own. So we've got some Maris Otter pale malt there. We have got some crystal malt. Now, he told me when he used to brew beer, they used to put brown sugar in, and he says it added like a depth to it, and it also made it stronger. Now, I don't know whether it makes it stronger because it's just a fermentable sugar, but it certainly does make a difference what sugars you use. Same way as depends on what sugars you use in what malt you use, it gives the beer a different profile. 2.5 kilograms of pale malt. We've got 500 grams of crystal malt. We're going to use 250 grams of brown sugar, and we've got some centennial hops because this is the first ever hops I bought, and I banged it in and I was like, yes, we'll go with that. It's not the highest alpha acid in the world, but it made the beer what it was. So that's what we're doing. We've got centennial hops. So the kit I used to do would have had 23 litres. So we're doing less than that. So I've halved everything other than the malt, obviously, which is I don't know how much malt was in the original brew for the kit. Sorry, don't know how much malt was in the original kit. But anywho, we're going to be using 37.5 grams of the centennial hops at the beginning of the boil, and then 30 minutes towards the end we're going to bang 50 in, and then it's going to have a dry hop of 75 whenever it's finished fermenting 4 or 5 days later. And yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. We're using safale or safale US 5. I did want the British version, the 04, but somebody had just cleared the shop out and I couldn't get hold of any at short notice. It's literally, this was a spur of the moment thing. I thought, oh shit, let's I've got his anniversary coming up, let's do something. And I was like, okay, what are you gonna do? And I was like, well, let's brew Knackers Yard again, the all grain version. So I was like, boom. On my bike, I tottled over to the brew shop, grabbed some ingredients, and here we are now, waffling on as per usual. But I thought I'd give you a bit of background as to what it is I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So yeah, it's in memory of my mate John. So let's get this ball rolling. I'm going to speed all this up because it's boring as hell and it takes about 5 hours. I can speed everything up so that you're not here just listening to me chat crap for 5 hours. So let's get some water on the go and get it heated up, and we will be ready to rock and roll. Okay, so the wort is now ready. It's chilled down to what I needed it to be at. We're going to take a hydrometer reading and we're going to see how the Knackers Yard is faring. Whether we've got a shed load of fermentables, whether we've got too much, not enough, and so on and so on. The aim is between 5 and 6%, and this is starting off at 80. 1.10246. No, it's at 70. If the bloody bubbles would clear out, I'd be able to see better. 7246. Let's do 76, which is super high. Let's just calculate roughly what that would be if it was to ferment out to where I wanted it. Okay, so that would be at 8.7, which is too high. So I'm going to correct it by diluting it to about 11.5 litres. So that's adding just over a litre, or just under, sorry, 1.5 litres. We'll mix that in and we shall take another hydrometer reading. Make sure that we mix it thoroughly. I don't want to be beating air into this just yet though. I can go back in there. All this has been sterilised, so there's no risk of an infection. And we're just going to mix that in, make sure it all mixes together, get it nice and sorted. It's a lot darker than I expected, but I think that's from the crystal malt. I don't know what the original beer had in it, the base thing that I used for the liquid malt extract, not sure, but this is what came to mind and this is what we're doing, so that's that. It's going to be a crystal IPA or whatever you want to call it. So okay, we've mixed that in. Let's hydrometer again. And see what we've got. It might not have gone down all that much, but 8%'s a bit too hefty, really. No, it's not really gone down all that much. It's at 6246. Quick look, see what that'll give us. 7.3, so it's still a little bit on the large side. So I've got half a litre of water left here. So we're going to bash that in, which takes us up to the 12 litre mark, like that. And we do the same again, mix it in, take a hydrometer reading, and whatever this is going to be, I'm just going to deal with it. I can't even remember what the original beer was in gravity. I might have written it down. Mix in there. Don't want to let go of that because I'll lose it. And repeat. Still on the high side, but it's better than it was. Slowly moved 64. So 64, and we're going to deal with it. Let's get some air beating in here, and we'll add the yeast. Need the oxygen just for the yeast to start its colony. Oh, it's going everywhere. Righty-ho, let's pitch the yeast. Like so. And then we just pitch the yeast, bang it in. Give it one good mix. Mix all that yeast in. It's no good just sat on the top. And fingers crossed, it'll make a nice beer. Now, I use Centennial hops, and it's actually one of my favourite hops. Maybe because of when I did this with the kit yonks ago, it was one of those flavours that just always stands out. Just make sure all that yeast is wet and mixed in nicely. And there we are, job done. We'll go make some notes of the recipe, lock it down, write down what it is on this little bit of a tab that I've got there, put the airlock on. Job's a good one. A couple of days, well, probably about 4 days, standard time really, and we'll be back to put some dry hops in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.